Hello, everyone. This is the East Coast Economic Update for March the 19th, 2010. Just a couple of things I'd like to throw at you that is non-business or economics related. It's more personal space related. They just launched a couple of months ago. They launched this organization that's supposed to be better than Twitter, called Foursquared. Of course, I'll have the article in my info box. An interesting thing about this Foursquare process, they tried many years ago to, like Google, find out what you liked and whatever, and kind of directed you to it, and it kind of freaked a few people out. That was a couple of years ago, like 2005, and they kind of backed away from that. Google did. This Foursquare thing, you download it onto your phone or your BlackBerry, or whatever, and it basically GPSes you wherever you are. So one of the options are that, or is, excuse me for the grammar, is that you can ask advertisers to find out where you are and say, hey, this is your favorite pizzeria, are you hungry? Or this is your favorite bar, they're having a special on beer, can you go here? Now they already, if you friend somebody on Foursquare, they can find out exactly where you are as long as you have your device on you. So this is just a little, a thousand, death by a thousand cuts. It's a method to get people, especially into millennials, to feel comfortable being watched. Almost kind of, you know, uh, almost feeling like needing to be watched and directed because God knows that, you can't tell when you're hungry or when you want a beer or if you're in the area where your favorite bar is, if you're standing on that block or within that vicinity. I mean, this is just one more step down in the intelligence level to where, it's one more step to where you're going to be directed to consume in a way. Um, I'll leave the provocations, but people are not afraid of, you know, these generational people are not afraid that there's cameras watching them and that people are listening to them on the internet. In fact, they want to be watched. They want to be, not voyeurist. They want people to voyeur upon them, if that's a correct line. But they want to be seen. They want to be experienced. They want to be directed, especially the millennials. You got these people. I was watching Digital Nation on Frontline, and it was talking about how people in South Korea are so addicted to technology, children specifically, that they have to take them to camps where there's no phones or any of that stuff, and they spend 2 weeks trying to unwind them from their addiction, and it doesn't work. As soon as they get home, they're staring into their computer, and and it's known that between most of these kids who spend more than 20 or 30 hours doing video games or constantly on the computer, their grade levels drop, their education levels drop, and so forth. So they've been dumbed down to the point where they can be led anywhere. And this Foursquare thing is another example of how, it's boiling the frog. Turn the heat up too much, okay, turn it down. Turn it up a little bit more. Here's Foursquare. You like Twitter, you like tweeting, and now I can do visual, video tweeting wherever I am and tell people where I am in the bar. So now I'm comfortable telling total strangers where I am and what bar I'm in. And now we have this Foursquare thing where you don't have to tell them; they know where you are. And now, if you allow them, right now, it's advertisers are have to be asked to be allowed to have access to this Foursquare person, whatever the person has to accept access or allow access. But eventually, that's not going to be necessary. They'll give you a cheaper or a free Foursquare system, or whatever, or a device that includes the Foursquare system. It'll be free, but you have to allow complete access, and people won't care by then. So this is just another step, another thousand cut death that's happening to people. They're being lulled into now, what a great way to, control the consumer economy when you have zombies walking around buying shit they don't want, or they can't afford, and they don't need. And now they don't have to think about it because they're not thinking. The device is doing it for them. I mean, eventually, be put in here, or your arm, or your head, probably your head, so you can have that virtual reality experience. So that really shook me. I was listening to Marketplace, and they brought it up, and they were like all excited that you could find your buddy and find out where he is if he friends you or whatever. It disturbs me. Call me, I'll tell you where I am. Where's my privacy? Where's the level of privacy? So, on that note, story number 2 is the reason why my wife never lets me go shopping in a supermarket by myself. So I had to go pick up some items in the supermarket, got online, and found this. Times Secret Society. It says display until June 2010. Weird. And it talks about the Illuminati and the Trilateral Commission and Opus Dei and all this stuff, and Dan Brown, of course, it's shoved in there. But it's interesting because the founder of Time magazine was a bonesman. So, what does this mean? Why are we doing this? Are we now educating our population through popular media that everything's okay? These people are here to help us. In fact, it was interesting. The section that said about the Illuminati. Let me find it real quick. Here it is. It says, and this is the subtitle. I don't know if I can bring it up, whatever. But anyway, the subtitle says, a Bavarian professor sought to change the world, not to rule it. So obviously, propaganda, they're not bad people. They're philanthropic. So it's very interesting. I was standing online and looked over and said, oh my God. I never look at magazines, and it caught my eye. I think I saw Secret Societies out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, holy crap. So, it just seems that things are gearing up. Finally, I wanted to make a comment. In the last few months, there's been a number of people who I've respected, and in the early days, really followed. I'm not going to mention names, but a lot of them have kind of gotten organized. Some of them have joined organizations, and others have created radio programs and whatever, and have become more established, quote unquote. And this has disturbed a lot of people on YouTube, and it kind of shakes me a little bit. But I want to leave you with a thought. When I was a college student, I was about to graduate in 1993. I had a friend of mine who was 25 years older than me and had decided to go back to school. He gave me a piece of advice, and he said, be true to your principles, because the moment that you breach your principles, your belief system, what makes you stop existing as you. So if what people do, and people will change, they will change as long as they don't keep to their principles. But you can't teach them your principles, and they can't borrow your principles. They have to create their own principles. So my point is, be true to yourself. If you don't like what somebody's doing, unsubscribe. That includes me. But be true to yourself, and do the right thing no matter what. Even if it harms you physically in some cases, or emotionally. So I leave you with that thought. So, peace with you, but be true to your principles and be true to yourself. Because if you can't be true to yourself, you're no longer existing. Peace.